Hey Clashers, there are no true costs anymore, which means you can get really creative with choosing your army to get as much loot as possible. Should you go with barbarians and archers, or should you go with sneaky goblins, or should you maybe go with golems and witches? All of this we're going to discuss in this video, and I will share all of those strategy links so you guys do not have to do anything except going into the comments and copy the link. But wait a second. If you're watching actually the video, I will share a couple of crucial tips on how you can maximize your loot even better. And if you like those videos, if you would like to support me, and if you're buying any offers in-game anyways, well, make sure to use code iTzu because that is going to support me a lot, a ton. And thank you so much for that. But before we're starting, a huge shout out to David, who collected from me all of those strategy links. It's incredible, a lot of work for him. Well, let's dive into the important town hall levels, which is for town 9 and above. If you are below, and that is no problem, if you are below, well, for town hall 1 to 6, you should pretty much use barge. I feel like that's always the most efficient way. For town hall 7 and 8, you can just use dragons, which is a really easy way. Otherwise, what should you do? Like the more traditional way, barge or sneaky goblins, or more expensive troops. What is the best way? Well, it depends on your lifestyle. If you have a lot of time boosting your barracks and everything, then I think barge or sneaky goblins is the best way to go. If you have not that much time, if you're working, for example, then you should go with those armies, because with this you can get online. You're going to be able to do 2 attacks, because how the system right now works in Clash of Clans, you can do 2 attacks really easily and quickly, because you can attack any base and take down any base as well, because those strategies are so strong. Starting off with air is going to be Mass Dragons with Lightnings. Those Lightnings in combination with Earthquake can easily take down air defenses. 3 Lightnings and 1 Earthquake going to take down air defense. And if you put inside your Clan Castle an Electro Dragon, this army is going to get even scarier. Electro Dragon on Town Hall 9 is just broken because he can tank so much, he deals so much damage, and it's just insane. If you want to go with ground, just use spam witches. Pretty much draw a line. But what you can do is as well, like more strategic style. 1 golem, 2 witches on the corners, and then the remaining troops just in the middle with your heroes push everything through, and you're going to get not only a 3-star, but as well a lot of loot if you're choosing the right base, without having to wait for the next dead base. Next one is going to be Town Hall 10. And for Town Hall 10, we have, again, air and ground. And we have something underground. But let's start with the witches again. Witches, again, classic. I mean, we have wall breakers in this one, and that's really important to note if you are using a lock launcher. If you have the possibility of people in your clan donating you the lock launcher, you don't need the wall breaks. It's pretty crazy how much value you can get there, but obviously I don't know the current situation in your clan, how many things you can get donated, but that's pretty much it for the witch army. Obviously using the lightnings for an Inferno Tower. Then we have again the same approach with the dragons. There's nothing going to be too crazy changing over there. We're always going to have dragons for the next couple of town levels. I can already spoil you that. But we have something new on this one for Town Hall 10 and 11, really strong, which is Mass Miners. Mass Miners, you can pretty much just draw a line and just overtake 90% of the bases, especially when you're like not in the clan war where there's always a defending clan cast and everything. Mass Miners is just incredible how powerful that is. The clan cast for you is, you have a lot of freedom in what you would like to go for. The poison, the freeze obviously is always a good choice. Otherwise the skeleton spell can even work as well. So a lot of things can work over there. And remember, for all of those strategy links and the suggestions as well for the clan castle, down below in the comments and in the pinned comment. But let's go for Town 11. Again, we have the Mass Miners. There's not too much which is going to change. Just getting rid of all of the elixir costs for this army is pretty cool. Then again, we have the dragons with electric dragons. Again, there is not too many things changing, but now we're going to get to the witches. And there's going to be a difference. We have 2 possible army suggestions. 1 versus multi-Inferno Towers and 1 versus single Inferno Towers. And I think I highly suggest to you guys that you're trying around what works best for you, where you have the most success with. That's like the important thing. But let me explain first. Again, lock launcher is going to support you a lot. I mean, that's just super helpful. Again, then you can get rid of a couple of wall breaks. Otherwise, one of the army is using lightning, so you can just take down a multi-Inferno Tower. If you're using or going versus a single Inferno Tower, obviously you do not need to take down any Inferno Towers because only the multi-Inferno Tower is a big threat to you. So you have more spells, for example, to bring a more earthquakes, so you can really just draw the line of golems, witches, everything to get really quickly into the base and engage versus the base. So that's pretty much the idea of those strategies overall. But again, the witches, they're just so powerful. And by the way, that's as well the reason why I am a huge fan of not having a witch level for Town of 14. Please, I hope so bad Supercell is not going to add a witch level for Town of 14. Otherwise, it's going to become Clash of Witch, pretty much the same thing as for Town of 9 to Town of 13, because you will see, trust me, you will see, witches are just a bit different. Let's put it like this. But that's Town of 11. As I said, Clanker suggestions and the strategy links down below in the comments. But now let's get to Town Hall 12, and that's where the true terror begins. Because again, we have witches versus multi versus single inferno tower. We have a newcomer, and that's super witches. And super witches is just completely disgusting. Obviously, if you have unlocked the super wall breakers, you can switch them out for the regular wall breaks. But obviously, I don't know if you want to actually invest the Dark Elixir into the super troop. If I can suggest and highly recommend you guys switching 25k from like Dark Elixir in getting a super troop, then it is the super witch. You can first start any base. It feels like Clash of Clans in easy mode. It is pretty much impossible to defend that strategy for Town Hall 12. And Town 12, I think right now, is the easiest Town Hall level from all, because just witches, and especially the super witch, is just so overwhelming. There's no counter. There is not the Town Hall poison like in Town Hall 14, where like the witches could just like die. It's Town Hall 12 where the witches get a new level, which means the damage is enough by far, so time fails are really unlikely. And just overall, broken, I think, is a pretty good word. So, really recommend witches to you, but if you want to go with air, obviously that's possible again. We're going to have a lot of dragon armies in this video, but that's kind of how it is, right? Like, dragons is and were always one of the strongest strategies in the game. And obviously, with not having to look at the elixir cost, which you can see around about 400,000, if you do not have to pay attention to that anymore, because that's just going to get deleted, well, guys, then you have a pretty good farming army. That is pretty scary. So, yeah, again, you can see how much Dark Elixir you save as well with the Witch army. 5k, that's a lot. Town 13. Again, you can use Super Witches, just as a disclaimer. You can use Super Witches again, but obviously I'm trying to concentrate on strategies which are not using Super Troops, because I know most of the people would not like to use Super Troops if they're farming, because it's Dark Elixir which they have to spend for that. But let's dive into the two armies which do not need any Super Troops. First of all, we have, again, dragons. But this time, we have unlocked Dragon Riders, which means you can't play Hydra, which means Hydra is hybrid from dragons. And that means dragons and Dragon Riders. So that's like the combination over there you're going for. Otherwise, again, Bwolers, Super Witches, Golems is working pretty well. And you can see how much Dark Elixir you save. Every single attack, 6,300 Dark Elixir is saved just from this change with a new no costs anymore. This is insane how much value you can get out of this, especially if you want to farm heroes. That's just crazy. Town of 14. Town of 14 is next, and we have switched dragons away. No dragon. Okay, actually you can use dragons as well, but I recommend Electro Dragons. Electro Dragons are just insane for Town of 14. They're incredibly strong, but again, you can just use dragons as well. But I feel like we should have switched, like, I want to switch it up a little bit, right? So, dragons are possible, Electro Dragons are really good as well. And then again, Yetis. You can combine anything with them. Super Wizards, Super Archers. But again, those are Super Troops, which means you need to upgrade the Super version of them. For this one right there, with Witches and Bwolers, you don't need that. You don't need that at all. So, just Yetis with Witches, with Bwolers, just draw a line, put everything down quickly, open the base with the Earthquakes, use the lock launcher if possible, and you're good to go. That's pretty much how it works. And yes, that was Town of 14. But wait a second, there is more, because we are going to take a look at two more strategies which are working for pretty much all of those town level, but are a little bit different. They are more fun related. First of all, mass baby dragons. Kind of similar to Barge, but I feel like they're just more fun. And it's just pretty much that you're circling the base with baby dragons. You're going to lightning, whatever you want to lightning, most likely air defenses. And otherwise, well, that's pretty much what you do with this strategy. So it's not like really that 3-star oriented, but you can get a lot of loot if you do it right. The next one is Queen Charge Baby Dragons, which is fun as well. On this one, obviously, you can train Queen Chargers. Baby Dragons, again, are a really good solid farming troop. So those are just some fun recommendations from me. Overall, again, thank you so much for David for collecting all of this data. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have found your new favorite strategy to farm with. And thank you so much as well for watching. I will see you guys back for the next video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.